What is up, Mets fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Mets'd podcast. Mets did not sweep the Phillies, not back in. They lost 2 of 3, and it's just so bad. It's so bad. We tried to be positive, and it didn't work. Didn't work at all. No, the positivity, it's only for the Knicks. It's not for the New York Mets. We won't be talking about the Knicks in this episode as much as I'd love to. It's going to be all Mets. David Peterson, Freddy Peralta. Remember when we won Game 1 on Thursday and then had an off day? I mean, the MLB had to cool us down. The World Cup didn't want to see the Mets get hot because, boy, oh boy, did they do the opposite of get hot. They played some really awful baseball to end the series in Philadelphia. Before we get going into it, make sure you are subscribed to Mets'd Up over here on YouTube. Appreciate all of you hanging around while the Mets are not hanging around, while they are giving up every single night, it feels like. Subscribe if you like what you see over here on the video side. And if you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, drops a rating, drops a review, download, and subscribe. James, looking at the notes, a lot of ass, and not the good kind. It's just a lot of ass.
No, lots of negativity. This is one of those 2-game stretches where you watch your favorite team play baseball, and you know they don't belong on the field with the team on the other side of them. And that's a team that just got hot, just got over 500. Still a very good team in the Phillies, but you weren't even competitive in these 2 games. You had theoretically your best or second best pitcher on the mound in one of them, and you couldn't even sniff the other team. And again, you were going up against 2 aces, 2 of the 5, 2 of the 3 or 4 best pitchers in the entire National League. You didn't have a chance for a second in either of these games on Saturday or Sunday. Not even a moment.
No, it's pretty impossible when Freddy Peralta comes out the gate and just gives up a bomb to Bryce Harper, gets absolutely tattooed, 2 2/3 innings, 10 hits, 10 earned runs. It's got to be one of the worst pitching performances of his career, one of the worst pitching performances we've seen for the Mets in quite some time.
That was the worst. That was the worst game of his career.
Definitely the worst game of his career.
I think it was literally the most earned runs.
He drives me fucking crazy. I'm sure Freddie's a great guy, but he does not got the fucking balls or the dog to pitch for the New York Mets, which sounds insane because the Mets aren't even a playoff team, so there's no pressure whatsoever. Freddie Peralta should be auditioning for every team in Major League Baseball, and hopefully a team that's good wants him. Who's going to be trading for this guy? He's double fucking us. He's keeping us out of the game with the standings. And then he said, oh, by the way, you know how you were going to trade me because we're out of it because partially I've been pitching like dog shit this year? Well, it's going to get even worse, so you're going to get even less back. It's going to go – David Stearns, I don't know how he's done it, but the trades on paper feel so good, and they have all magnificently been disasters, absolute disasters. Huascar Brazoban's the best trade he ever made.
One of the best trades anyone's ever made, but that's also why, I don't know, because there's so much talk in Mets world, baseball media, everything about the job of David Stearns and where this team is, where this team's going, all of that. It's very hard to blame the guy for acquiring Freddy Peralta, and Freddy Peralta decides to pitch by far the worst he ever has in his career. Similar to the conundrum we've been saying about Bo Bichette, where that one even looked worse on paper than acquiring Freddy Peralta. Still, for the package the Mets gave up for Freddy Peralta, I still didn't even feel bad about the trade again from a process standpoint, but all you could do is put these guys in the team together and hope they can go out and play, especially Freddy Peralta, where everything is so much worse this year.
Way worse.
It's so much worse. And again, he wasn't even pitching that poorly until this most recent start, of course. Like, his ERA was still in the low 4s, high 3s. Now it's like...
It's almost 5.
Yeah, Anthony DeComo's been running with the line a few times that he has, I think, the 58th highest ERA of 65 or 66 qualified.
It's good.
Qualified pitchers. No, it's really good. But then even just like, when you look under the hood, like, it's easy to take the stance like, okay, he will not continue to be this bad, because of course he can't continue to be this bad. But it is frustrating that a guy like Freddie drops his arm angle. He's getting slightly different movement on all of his pitches. The fastball has a little bit less ride, way less up cut on it, and nothing's performing as well. And again, I don't even feel like going deep into Freddie Peralta numbers on this, but you watch him pitching like, oh, that's a guy who's just doesn't look like he's equipped to get after it right now.
No, he's not someone who is ready to be a major league pitcher, and there's a lot of guys on this roster who are not capable of being major league pitchers despite being major league pitchers in the past. And again, like, I give Mendoza a lot of flack for a lot of the struggles for the New York Mets this year. I'm also going to give Justin Willard and the pitching staff a lot of flack because nobody is seemingly pitching better than we really expected.
Sean Manaea.
I mean, I guess it took them 3 months.
Took a while.
And even still, it's like not great. It's not good.
No, it's pretty good now. Right now, I think Sean Manaea is pitching like a quality 3.
Sean Manaea is the best pitcher on this team right now, which is the problem.
No McLean erasure, but again, like if you have those two guys and an average if you have this current version of Manaea, the current version of McLean, an average version of Freddy Peralta, and the current version of Christian Scott, like we said, that would have been a good. I'm leaving out the 5th starter because we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, God,
it makes me mad, but It's just even like going through the rest of that game. Besides Freddy Peralta, that was one of the worst baseball games that's ever been played in the field. If you were rooting for the Mets,
yeah, it was an incredibly excruciating watch, which is saying a lot in 2026 for the New York Mets. But for the offense to perform like it did, I know Christopher Sanchez is really good. Mark Vientos cut the lead to 40, which was, of course, the classic Mark Vientos. It's crazy. He owns Christopher Sanchez. Absolutely owns his ass. If only Christopher Sanchez pitched against Mark Vientos for every at-bat, he'd be a Hall of Famer.
I was going to say, think about Vientos' bat path, the sinker ball or lefty. Like, that's kind of an ideal matchup for him.
Yeah, it's a match made in heaven.
Ready to go down there and get that one. But had a great tweet here from Sarah Langs that with Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber, the Phillies are the second team MLB history with players with a cycle and a 3-homer game in the same game. Can
I rant real quick? Actually, finish your stat first.
Yeah, finish this. I have couple more stats about that. Then we'll rant about that. We'll go up and down with this. But the last time that happened was June 3rd, 1932. Yankees at the Philadelphia Athletics. Tony Lazzeri hit for the cycle. Lou Gehrig had his 4-home run game. That was also in Philadelphia.
What?
That's crazy.
That is crazy. That's absolutely insane. You know what's even crazier?
Yeah.
How fugazi Bryce Harper's triple was. That is 100%. Not a triple. That's never been a triple in the history of baseball. That's not a cycle. That is the most ego-stroking triple I've ever seen in my life.
Home book.
Yeah, home book. The dude was on second base when the shortstop caught the ball to throw it home. He advanced on the throw. I don't care if the entire way Bryce Harper was looking for triple. That's not how the game of baseball is scored. The Mets still got their ass absolutely trounced, so whatever, doesn't really matter. But that cycle should have an asterisk next to it. That was not a triple.
You want to put the cycle next to the asterisk that we got 15-3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. You could do that. I might have lost a fantasy game because of the cycle.
Oh, he put up 90 points for me in one of my fantasy leagues. It won me the week.
I was going to say, leagues that have cycle bonuses. Yeah, I played against Bryce Harper. Our league has a cycle bonus. I lost by 15 points. 100%.
Oh, yeah, you totally lost because of that.
Now I'm mad about it. Now I'm pissed about the cycle. Maybe your league scoring. Let's get rid of that cycle. Let's all band together, undo that cycle by Bryce Harper. But again, hometown scoring, you're winning by 15. You had a 12-batter, 8-run inning. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs in the same inning.
How about just the idea that Bryce Harper... Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. Just, again, I kind of glanced over that. 2 home runs in 1 inning. How about the idea that the Phillies felt so in control and like they were playing wiffle ball that Bryce Harper had the audacity to go to third base on that ball when the shortstop was catching it? The Phillies embarrassed the Mets this weekend in a series that the Mets won a game. They started the series off 1-0. Sean Manaea got a win, and the Phillies this weekend absolutely embarrassed the Mets, showed everyone in Major League Baseball because these games were nationally televised.
Both of them.
This team is a fucking joke. This organization is a joke, and this team stinks. They don't deserve to even come close to the playoffs.
Dude, both of Schwarber's home runs that inning went 450 feet. I did the quick StatCast check I tried to get home runs in the same inning that both went 450. I didn't find anything, so I don't think this happened in StatCast era, but it could have been a little hazy on my search. And that was the 5th 3-homer game of Schwarber's career.
That's a lot.
That's a ton for a guy that hasn't had 4. And
he also different pitchers.
He also instantly hit the home run today, so it's Sunday, so it's like...
He's got 30 homers.
Bryce Harper also has over 20 homers already. He's on pace for almost 40. Great bounce back by him. Elite. Kyle Schwarber hit almost 1,500 feet of home runs in 5 at-bats.
That's insane.
Against the Mets. Also, there's another tweet. I just was going through trying to find as many embarrassing stats as I could. Since the start of the MLB season, this from some whatever. They're probably gambling. I didn't want to look in to see where this company was.
You shouldn't have even said their name.
Yeah,
bleep it.
Bleep it. I'll bleep it. 840? I'll bleep that.
840, yeah.
The Mets have more losses by 12 runs than the Knicks have of 12 points since the baseball season started.
It's impossible. How is that even possible that the Mets have more 12-run losses than the Knicks lost by 12 points?
The Knicks probably only have 7 or 8 losses since the start of the MLB season. Knicks just won a championship with 3 total losses. That's enough Knicks talk for today.
That's insane. This team is so bad. And, Freddy Peralta completely shit down his leg, showed everyone that he's a child and amongst men. He's got nothing. I'm out on Freddy. Trade him tomorrow. There's no hope. He's not going to be a good New York Met ever. And I'm sorry, Freddy. Great guy. Wasn't going to work. But then Cionel Perez comes in and he fucking sucks. He's got absolutely nothing.
He's the mop-up guy. He's the last guy in the pen.
Shocker. The guy that the Orioles, who have no good bullpen arms, didn't want, couldn't get it done. And then...
Orioles have one good bullpen arm.
One bullpen. Oh. Rico Garcia. Yeah, of course.
How dare you?
God, what this team would be with Rico Garcia. Tobias Myers, because again, what's his role? We'll never find out. He gets absolutely destroyed. He looks horrible.
You know why you're enjoying this minute? Because we're happy, Kratz. We're happy because we're wearing Mack Weldon.
Yes, I'm 6'5", and nobody can give me tall clothing, but Mack Weldon allows me to have it. So I don't really have to care about how I look, and I still look good because I don't put a lot of time into what I do to pick out my clothes. Mack Weldon takes care of it for me.
Classic, always in style, made from the world's most comfortable performance materials. Summer gets sweaty. Don't let unnecessary sweat spots emerge. Mack Weldon's Air Knit X fabric helps you out. Their lightest fabric is fused with nylon mesh for maximum airflow. Skip the midday wardrobe changes. The barely there feel also keeps you feeling more dry and fresh. Don't sweat the heat this summer. Feel as effortlessly cool as you look with Mack Weldon. Go to mackweldon.com and get 20% off your first order of $125 or more with promo code FOUL. That's MackWeldon.com, code FOUL.
So Laura Albany had a good tweet tonight too. AJ Minter told her Mets relievers had a competitive tally going of who can throw a Clay inning. That's an inning inspired by Clay Holmes with 15 or fewer pitches. Zach Short did that in the 8th inning on Saturday.
Yeah, that's
Zach Short. Again, this Mets bullpen right now is working with so much magic. Anyone can step out there and do well. And we're wasting a great bullpen.
Could you believe that Kyle Schwarber hit 3 home runs in this game? Bryce Harper hit for the cycle, and they didn't get any of those hits off of the shortstop, the starting shortstop for the New York Mets who pitched in this game, which, by the way, why the fuck are we going back to this weird lefties can't face the lefties thing? Zach Short and Luis Torrens in the same lineup on the same day. That's like a punishment. Talk about antagonizing.
Also,
Zach Short, 1 for 4, 3 strikeouts. Enough of Zach Short. How'd he get back here?
The last time the Mets released Zach Short, they won the most magical run in franchise history. But
bring back Jose Iglesias.
I'll push that. Don't bring back Jose Iglesias.
Bring him back.
Also, Semien hitting cleanup, Wagaman hitting 5th like it was. I mean,
it's fucking brain dead, man.
Yeah, it's painful.
Whoever's doing it, because at this point, I gotta think that couldn't have been Mendoza, right? Surely anybody who's ever watched baseball would never make this lineup.
I could definitely see David Stearns be like, I need Wagaman, 5th spot. But also, it does suck that the guys who were supposed to hit the lefties either are injured or aren't hitting them either. Like, that's a painful thing. Beginning of the season, we're like, oh, we're going to get over this horrible lineup versus lefties thing because we have Bo Bichette, lefty crusher, Jorge Polanco, very good as a righty, pretty even splits as a switch hitter, and Luis Roberts, just, always been good against hitting lefties.
Francisco Lindor, just that shortstop.
Francisco's stuff is interesting right now. The fact he's going to play Wednesday, almost guaranteed, is crazy.
Does feel pretty nuts, considering he says he's very tired after the game today.
I mean, he says he's going to get a simulated game tomorrow, off day Tuesday, and staying back in the lineup. And I don't know if it's just they think that he's totally ready because that's the kind of guy he is. I don't know if this is pure desperation by them. But, the fact that he's just playing the games around New York and, was today the first 9-inning game? The second one?
Yeah, first one, I think.
This has been an incredibly short rehab assignment for a player who was out for 2 full months.
With a pretty big injury.
Huge injury, yeah. two minor league rehab games.
I also... Man, I love Luis Torrens. We love Luis Torrens, elite backup. But, when you do see, a 580 OPS and then the fact that we gave him a 2-year contract, seemingly kind of for no reason, does feel a little bit stupid because now you kind of stop any sort of possible mobility there. And then also, he catches back-to-back games for a team that can't score offensively. I don't know. The process is broken. You can't trust the process. If Philly ever taught us anything, you can't trust the process.
It does seem like we're moving a little bit more to, again, this pro defense lineup on a more regular basis.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, but honestly, with how few hitters are on this team, I'm fine with DHing Alvarez. Because who? Think about this. Because you're basically
DH Wagaman.
You're basically. I mean, I think he does DH a good bit. He played third on Saturday.
Played right field on Saturday. He played right field and third base. But then here's the crazy thing: is if he could play third base, then just put him at third base. Put Bo Bichette at shortstop. We don't need to have this, and let AJ Ewing, who's been one of our better hitters, which is insane because he's 21 years old, instead of forcing Zach Short into the lineup.
Yeah, the Zach Short thing was weird, but again, these are the things that I'm happy that you have the stomach to get after them still because I have lost my will. I
want to go Beningo on people.
You want to go Beningo? Have a go Beningo segment.
Just for you guys at home. We're just this is a little bit of playing it up for the Twitter clip here because we want to see if we can get this to go viral. How should I start it? What should I be?
You have to think if you want a true Beningo clip, you have to do some kind of tagline that's really demonstrative and forceful and like obvious,
The New York Mets have given up.
The New York Mets are a garbage baseball team and a garbage franchise. Yeah, some shit like that.
Yeah, I'll start it. All right, here we go.
Okay, here you go.
The New York Mets are a garbage team. They've given up on the season. You watch this team play every single day. There is no one playing hard. Nobody is inspired. The pitching stinks. The bullpen stinks. The lineup stinks. They can't score any runs. They can't let up any runs because we focused on defense this season. The defense is horrible. We have one of the worst defensive second basemen in the entire league. Mark Vientos doesn't know how to play first base. Our catching is switching every single time. We have guys in the outfield who've never played the outfield before. And yet, the Mets still, with all this great defense and the new pitching and all these new bats, they still get outscored in a series by 100, and they look embarrassed on a national stage. And what's Carlos Mendoza doing? He's sitting there in the dugout with the same stupid fucking face he's had on for the entirety of his career, twiddling his thumbs, and the Mets continue to do nothing but sit on their hands and expect something to change, despite seeing like 200 games of bad play.
Scene. Good Beningo clip.
Thank you.
Perfect. Got
shout
that
out FT people clipping that. We appreciate you guys.
Ready to go. Thank you guys all. But that is kind of how it feels after a series like this. I was
There's
gonna
some
get you
truth there.
I was gonna get you on the bullpen stinks. I was gonna get you on that one. I didn't want to interrupt. I didn't want to ruin the clip. I was gonna get you on that one.
That's just for the clip. The bullpen's been the least of our issues.
Can we talk about our favorite thing to talk about right now? The non-clarity of pitching roles on this team.
Oh, it's the best. Yeah, please.
Because we talked about it in the big blowout, the 2 big blowouts ago now, 3 big blowouts ago now, technically, Monday against the Reds, where the Mets are kind of out of pitching and they're losing a game by double-digit runs, which, again, does that sound familiar? Did you watch the Mets on Saturday night as well? Did you watch them on Tuesday too? And David Peterson comes in as the mop-up guy. You basically had the choice between Luis Torrens and David Peterson as who's going to pitch when a game is over. And then you get to Sunday, a rubber game against your division rival, as a series victory would be so incredibly important to kind of the flow. And like we even talked about on the positive episode, like winning the series, sweeping the Phillies would have gotten us actually back into this mentally.
Yeah.
Winning the series, especially stopping the momentum after a shellacking on national television on Saturday, that would have at least bred some good things. You still feel like you're treading water. You feel like with a homestand coming up, you can start to keep chipping away at this. And for David Peterson to walk out there in the first inning, not helped by his defense either, but again, the face, the shoulders, missing his spots, like fighting against everything, throwing weird pitches and weird counts, having so many sliders that were nowhere fucking close, and then to be back in the hole instantaneously, and then Kyle Schwarber hitting another home run to the fucking moon his next at bat. How can you try to be a competitive baseball team and win games where the guy that you said we're only choosing you over a position player on Monday, now you're starting a legitimately big game for us on national television in a very important rubber game, and you have nothing left?
David Peterson is such a level of ass. I honestly didn't really think it was possible. Going into tonight, let's see. He basically has like the worst ERA, or the 4th worst ERA in baseball, with at least 60 innings pitched. The guys ahead of him, 2 of them pitch in Colorado. Maybe that's the David Peterson thing, Colorado connection. Kyle Freeland, who has a 7.36. Michael Lorenzen, who shut out the Mets, I think, earlier this year, has a 7.13. And Andrew Painter, who's coming off of major Tommy John surgery, has a 7.06. Then the guys around him, like Brian Bayo, sent down. Jack Kahanowitz sucks. Zach Allen stinks. Brandon Sproat, we traded him. Like, wow. David Peterson, if the Mets had any balls, if the Mets honestly had an arm that they even thought could be a major league pitcher, which
that's what it is.
The most disappointed in right now, because we had been hearing about this pitching lab forever and ever and ever. And right now, clock struck midnight and we've got nothing in the pitching lab left, it seems like, because we're going to throw out David Peterson again, and he's going to get his ass absolutely handed to him. He's going to give up another 6 runs in 5 innings. The Mets are going to lose another game because it's impossible for this offense to score 6 runs over a full game, let alone when they're down 6 runs in the 4th inning. David Peterson should not be on a competitive baseball team. David Peterson shouldn't be on a bad baseball team. This version of him is unrosterable. He is unusable. He is useless.
I think Anthony DiComo basically told us through the lines that he will not be in the rotation anymore after the game. He started this column after this game saying, this time David Peterson's tenure in the Mets rotation really could be coming to an end.
This time David Peterson's major league career in New York City should be coming to an end. He should not pitch another game for the Mets. He doesn't have it. And like, I'm starting to think like he had to have been hurt, right? Because there's such a hard drop from the production that we saw from him last year to what we've seen from that point on, where it's like, is he hurt or is he dog shit?
I think it also could be a lesson, and we talk about this a lot, in how much more reliable stuff is on a game-by-game, week-by-week, month-by-month basis than commands. Because David Peterson's always had a guy whose stuff could float towards average, be definitely okay at times. But his command has trended at times in his career, which is also right now, to looking like one of the worst in all of baseball. But there was a 2-month golden stretch where he had pinpoint command, 4 quadrants, all of his pitches, and it was beautiful. And I think sometimes you just can't sustain that. You just can't. Dave Peterson with those long limbs, like, you can't get them all working the way you want them to every single time you pitch.
We're better off putting the ball on a tee. I'm not even kidding. I think if the Mets
Similar.
put a ball on a tee, they might get better outcomes than David Peterson pitching. He's like totally in my fucking doghouse. I can't watch him pitch anymore, especially because of the attitude. This team's got an attitude problem, by the way, on the fringes.
2 of those singles in the first inning were just complete doinkers. It still
but
was.
He doesn't have enough dog to even get through that, because he gets those
100%.
doinkers and he's like, oh, I'm Eeyore. Woe is me. What a terrible day. Rain cloud on my head.
Yeah, and then the second inning was when the home run happened. But like those 2 first runs on were nothing. Absolutely nothing. Those were infield singles. Bullshit. But again, digress. Besides the point. It's just, I think Christian Scott is going to be back when he's immediately eligible, which is Saturday. So I think we will do some shuffling as we get the series preview soon here. Because not that much I'll say about the series.
No, there's not much.
Basically done of this besides Brett Beatty being more lost than he's actually ever been. This is the worst baseball Brett Beatty's ever played, which is saying something. But with no off day, because we have Cubs for 4, he might just need to pitch again. Someone has to pitch on Friday.
Me? Can I throw?
Someone said that on Twitter. He said they'd love to see you or I get an inning during this Cubs series. See what we got.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Why not? Let's have some fun.
What was that? This pitch is illegal in 19 states.
Oh, yeah. This is the chop suey screwball. It killed a man in Tuscaloosa.
What's he doing this week? Does he want to
face Cedric on the mound? Oh, fuck yeah. That would be vibes.
Does he want to face, the Phillies on Friday night at Citi Field?
I'm in. I'll go to that game. Give me a ticket.
But yeah, this whole thing is just, he's lost. There's nothing left there. You could see Mendoza after the game basically being like, how are we supposed to have a chance with that? Put that out there. You guys see what that was like?
You gave Mendoza credit last episode. I'll give him credit for that. He was just like, this isn't my doing.
When my puppy Bella has something wrong, I'm not going to go around Googling what to do.
Yeah, Kratz, let's have a better plan. Today's episode is sponsored by the ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program. It offers customizable accident and illness plans that can fit your budget, your lifestyle, and even your pet's particular quirks. Because let's be honest, vet bills can add up fast. ASPCA Pet Health Insurance has been around for almost 30 years and has covered over 1 million pets. And when it's time to submit a claim, it's easy. Just use their app and receive reimbursement for eligible vet bills directly into your bank account so you can get back to focusing on what really matters, your pet. To explore coverage, visit aspcapetinsurance.com/foul. That's aspcapetinsurance.com/foul. Again, that's aspcapetinsurance.com/foul. This is a paid advertisement. Insurance is underwritten by either Independent American Insurance Company or United States Fire Insurance Company and produced by PTZ Insurance Agency Limited. The ASPCA is not an insurer and is not engaged in the business of insurance.
So another thing, too, I just want to talk about the Phillies for a second because these teams had the same record, Mets and the Phillies. They were both 9-19 once we got to the beginning of end of April. And
what'd the Phillies do?
Here's our tweet from Sam Block. The Phillies are now 42-35, and the Mets are now 34-43 when they both started out 9-19. And again, that was partially, I think, a lot of the credit, especially in the national media, goes to the firing of Rob Thompson. But the firing of Rob Thompson, the hiring of Don Mattingly, very conveniently happened like the week that Zach Wheeler came back.
Sure.
Was that Billy Martin's line or was that Lou Pinella's line where it's like the best day to have like a closed door meeting or a players only meeting is when your ace is on the mound the next day.
Yeah.
And the Phillies are 34-18 since Wheeler came back.
Now he doesn't pitch in all those games.
For sure not, but there's a lift that happens in that. I saw another stat the Phillies are like something like 40-15 when it's a game started by Sanchez, Luzardo, or Wheeler. And they're like 15 games under 500 with the rest of the guys. But there's just, again, that is the biggest difference about these teams, these organizations, and we talked about at the top here. And Freddy Peralta's never been close to being on par with guys like Zach Wheeler, Christopher Sanchez. Much closer, actually.
He's been more of a Luzardo.
Much more of a Luzardo. I don't know what I'm getting. Sometimes it's good. I hope he gets hot, but the Mets just still don't have that. They haven't really had a steadying force in this rotation for a long time now. And until Nolan McLean keeps getting older and more consistent, I think it will be him one day, but it's not him yet. It's hard to expect a guy in his rookie year for him to actually be that guy now. And that was unfair, I think, of a lot of us to throw that on a guy like Nolan McClain now. Freddy Peralta is supposed to take all the pressure off him. Those guys are supposed to make a good one, too, and they're supposed to make this thing consistent time over time. And we still probably, John Tong kind of becoming the biggest prospect dropper in all of baseball.
Yeah, it's hard to have the same excitement you once had over him where, geez, he can't get over the AAA hump even remotely.
No, it's because he actually just can't get pitches that go left consistently, and they keep trying. And again, it's still the kind of thing with Tong where I don't give a shit about his prospect rankings. I don't give a shit about his stats in AAA. I don't give a shit about anyone's stats in AAA. I want to see development, and we're going to dig a lot deeper. Again, this week or next, we're going to get a lot of good minor league stuff for you guys, both good and bad, because we need a good sense of what's going on down there. You guys have been asking us that a lot, but you just kind of wish that there was more of this depth that was ready to go, and we wouldn't have to be relying on David Peterson anymore.
Yeah, I mean, give Zach Thornton another look. Why not?
Did you see our friend Meek Phil's tweet?
No, what did Meek say? Love Meek.
The difference of the front offices between last Knicks mention for you guys, between the Knicks and the Mets over the last few years, where the Knicks had a lot of homegrown players who were all pretty good and all still have roles around the NBA, and they just went cut bait across the board. Let's be cutthroat. Let's get as bad as we can right now. Not holding on to Quentin Grimes, giving him more money than he was worth.
That was a great move.
Not trying to ever put Emmanuel Quickly and Jalen Brunson in the backcourt together because those two player archetypes are never going to blend. Understanding that RJ Barrett was kind of capped as a player, he was never going to get better than the guy he was. Yeah, like RJ Barrett's a fantastic get knocked out in the first or second round, second or third best player in your team.
If he ever became a sixth man, he'd win it every single year.
Yeah, but maybe that probably is the next iteration of him. But then whereas the Mets, and again, not that basketball and baseball is 1-to-1. Basketball is so much more of a fitting player types together.
It's a little more cutthroat, too.
You have to be. And you don't really do these kind of trades in baseball because the way the owners and the GMs manage the teams, everything is much more cost-based, reliant. But just letting this generation of homegrown players kind of I don't think many of these guys even had that much value to begin with. I don't really agree with all of the stuff, especially negativity about Francisco Alvarez. I'm still always going to be in his camp. But, yeah, it's a whole batch of homegrown guys that suck. And that probably is more a reflection on what was going on in this organization for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
About the lack of developmental infrastructure, the lack of good quality people in place to help develop, the lack of really good internal
need
processes.
To try and find those guys that could fill in for cheap, and Brett Beatty, Mark Vientos, Ronnie Mauricio at times, like being those guys. And now the really, again, fucked up thing is that we look back on it, it's like, damn, they didn't really bring any value to this team, and we didn't really get any value out of them when there were times where we could have. And this is the conversation always about prospect hugging and trading and player development and what you do. And you do see, and this is something that I always like make fun of with you for the Yankees, but like the Yankees almost never keep any of their guys. The Yankees have really good teams every single year.
Besides the really good ones.
Besides Aaron Judge, besides the
Cam Schlittler, Ben Rice.
Besides the bona fide can't miss studs right now, like the guys who are questionable, the guys who are like, just to give you a WRC thing, like we always joke about with the Reds where they're 90 to 110. The Yankees don't keep those guys. They don't exist on the roster. They don't want that variability. They only go for the top end talent. That's why you see guys like Clint Frazier ranting on Twitter about how he never got a chance with the Yankees.
Again, the Yankees probably always knew a guy like Clint Frazier never deserved a chance.
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
Which is mean, but like, not deserved. Deserved's probably the wrong word, but yeah.
Probably fucked up with Vientos, Beatty, Mauricio, and even some other guys on this roster.
And it's also the thing where, I mean, you made the comment about the pitching lab before, and I do think these things take years. I think years and years and years. Like, we were plunging a toilet that had so much shit stuck in it. The Mets were the last team in baseball to have actually like a true analytics department. It's the Mets and the Rockies. Yeah, so if you're comparing us to them, we've done a lot better than them over the last 5 fucking years. But like the fact that we had to reset everything, and there were dozens of new people hired. There was millions of dollars spent on just like technical equipment in the last 3 years here.
Yeah.
And even the first few years of Cohen, when we thought we were getting ahead just by spending, wasn't spent in the right places. We went through 3 general managers in a 2-year stretch. Like we probably didn't really have like true organizationally coded like mantras yet what we were doing. Like it takes a long fucking time, and we keep trying to stopgap and like sending a shit ton of money on guys in the middle, and it should all be held together by Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto if they could play games together, and Bo Bichette. But like it's ass right now, and it feels like ass. It's a wasted season, and you just have to hope that You could almost salvage. You could just salvage this whole thing with the sell high of all these relievers. The deadline. That's fucking sad.
Which is really sad. This is a sad Mets season.
Remember the last episode we recorded?
Positive, so positive. It was like, what?
Our bad.
What if? What if? We've done that twice now, and they've gone out and laid absolute eggs.
Yeah, but there's just not to be tied together. This is so cool. Soto's like red hot. I guess we didn't really firmly talk about it, but Benaya was legit good on Thursday.
Yeah, he was solid.
He's solid. The pitches are all together now. Again, to me, in my mind, he's a 3-starter moving forward. If you get Christian Scott back, he's another 3-4 starter. Nolan McLean's a 1-2. Freddie Peralta's a 5, and then we just need to go that Senga to be another 5. Nah, Freddie, he's not gonna be that bad. Can't be.
I've seen it. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. You've seen it with your own 2 eyes.
Can't be that mad again.
Can't keep getting away with this.
Also, isn't it crazy? Like, this guy, Johan Duran, makes almost every hitter in baseball look bad. He makes the Mets hitters look like they've never held a bat before.
Except when we beat him a couple times.
Yeah, the one time we beat them. But
that was on a dribbler, wasn't it?
Yeah. AJ Ewing knocked us in. I think it was like 3 walks and a dribbler. We were there.
Yeah, it was a great game.
Harrison Bader hit that home run for Ryan Helsley. Oof. But, yeah, just the series sucked.
And next one's probably going to suck too. But before we get going into it, this show is... sorry, I read it word for word.
We almost got it.
Honestly, this is good to leave it. It's kind of funny.
All right.
Mets'd Up is brought to you by FanDuel. Baseball fans, the MLB season is in full swing, and FanDuel is giving you a chance to call your shot with daily dingers. Joining the action is easy. Just make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. It's just another reason why FanDuel is the home of home runs. James, you got a few players that will hit a home run against the Mets this week in Citi Field?
Yeah, so let's think. So Freddie's pitching Thursday.
PCA's going yard, 100%.
PCA's so good, dude. I mean, off Senga. Let's see. Cubs
Michael
lefties.
Busch probably because he can.
Yeah, let's see Michael Busch, dude. Matt Shaw back in the lineup because Mobile got sent down. Now Matt Shaw's right fielder. Saya's back at DH, so maybe Saya gets one.
Maybe Saya gets one. Also, Alex Bregman just for fun because we could have signed Alex Bregman. We got Bo Bichette. He'll probably hit a home run at our stadium. But hey, you ready to play the game? Head over to FanDuel.com/podcast to get started. That's FanDuel.com/podcast to opt in for daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball.
No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, James, what are those pitching matchups for this really fun Cubs series?
I think it will be kind of a fun series. The Cubs are again a team that has had a weird season. It's not a bad season like the Mets, but a very strange one.
What you're forgetting, though, is that they are a Major League Baseball team. So
yeah,
it's going to be
tons
tough.
Of games for sure. So Monday, 7:10, 4 7:10s at Citi Field this week. So
God, another late podcast.
Another late podcast for the fellas over here.
Fuck me. Why can't they play during the day? The Cubs play they play so many day games.
Monday night, 7:10. Koda Senga versus Shota Imanaga. That'll be fun.
Wow.
There'll be good Japanese crowd in the house for that one.
Definitely
Tuesday,
won't be there.
7:10. This will be a fun one too. Well, it's also going to rain a lot in New York on Monday, so we'll see if we wind up getting a twin bill on Tuesday. But Nolan McLean versus Edward Cabrera. Wednesday, this is going to be a 90-mile-an-hour off.
Oh, God.
Sean Manaea versus Javier Assad.
Ooh, yeah, that is. A lot of speed in that one.
And then Thursday night, fun one. Freddy Peralta against Ben Brown.
Who's going to give him more runs?
No, Ben Brown's been awesome.
Yeah, but has he been?
Have you kept up with Ben Brown?
Is he just doing curveballs, high curveballs again?
So Ben Brown is doing like the junkyard Hunter Brown, which is funny, both same last name. Not as wide of a repertoire, doesn't have 2 breaking balls, just has 1. Doesn't throw as hard, but still throws quite hard. He just picked up a 2-seamer this year, and that's just taking all the pressure off everything.
Be cool if the Mets could do things like that.
Now he's just 2-seaming and curveballing. It's really, really nice. Even though he's still throwing 50% fastballs to lefties, and last I checked, they had an insane slugging percentage against that. So the lefties against his...
Oh, so AJ Ewing and Carson Bench are going to sit.
Yeah, probably.
Got to get Wagaman in the lineup.
Oh, no, went way down. That was only 320 slug. All right, good job, Ben.
So Mark Vientos theoretically only has to play 1 game this week is what you're telling me at home.
Theoretically.
That's my new word I'm going to start using.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be out there for Shota. So you guys, we're going to see the lefty lineup on Monday, right? Right away again.
Cool.
Wagaman, Vientos, hopefully not Zach Short.
No,
we're
Zach Short's playing.
We're getting Francisco Lindor back on Wednesday. Seems like almost guaranteed.
That's exciting.
That's fun. Like, I I at least feel something for Francisco Lindor coming back.
Yeah, I'll watch.
All right, talk about the Cubs. The Cubs is like the first team in modern baseball history to do something they've done this year, which I think is have a 10-game winning streak and a 10-game losing streak in the first 2 months.
I'm not going to lie. I thought your sentence was going to be the Cubs were the first team in baseball to do something that they've done. I was like, that's a crazy. Yeah, no, the Cubs are a weird team. Talk about like a complete roller coaster of a season. Even for their players, like PCA had like a horrendous start to the year. He's one of the best players in baseball. Again, he's absolutely tearing the cover off the ball. He's a magician in center field. Seiya Suzuki still mashes. Michael Busch has started off slow. He's gotten hot again, like 380 on base. This team is weird, but me and you like the Cubs a lot coming into the season. Still do. Still think this is one of the better teams in the National League. Their pitching is just, I mean, it's fragile right now, but also that was always their biggest concern, is that their rotation's not great.
That was what we said about them heading into the season. Cubs fans really shit on us in the wind-up for saying we didn't think this was even a top 10 rotation.
Crazy.
And again, fairness to them, Cade Horton going down was a very big deal. Edward Cabrera has been terrible. Matthew Boyd got injured. And Justin Steele, who was kind of part of our point, like, guys come back from Tommy John surgery, hearts rely on them. He's had 2 setbacks. I think he had to get another operation. Who knows what you get from him this year. And Daniel Palencia in their bullpen's been in the injured list twice, so they've been running chaos bullpens lately. Chaos bullpens. Yeah, Hobie Milner's out there. Jacob Webb and Caleb Thielbar are sharing the closer role. Phil Maton gets huge outs for the Cubs. Ryan Rollison is a big lefty for them. Trent Thornton is back from the dead in their bullpen. It's insane. They have a guy named Gavin Hollowell.
Gavin Hollowell?
Never heard of him. You got him?
He's a St. John's kid.
Stop, really?
Yeah, he pitched, I feel like he pitched against us last year.
What? Was he on the Cubs?
He's from Montgomery High School in New Jersey.
That's cool. This would be a nice homecoming for Gavin. So my bad, Gavin. My bad for all the Hollowells out there.
Before, I'm not gonna lie.
There's an outside chance that someone who knows Gavin Hollowell is listening to this podcast right now. So I want to sincerely apologize.
Huge. He's 6'7".
6'7". But this Cubs team is fun and weird. Again, this is gonna be a great series for PCA. He just loves the action.
Yeah.
PCA is gonna be the kind of guy who's gonna want to like do a daytime walk, like do his shopping in Soho, like take a picture with a Jalen Brunson mural. I almost guarantee that PCA is gonna do something with something Knicks on social media this week.
I like that. That's a good call. I was going to say he will be in the MLB offices to film content at some point.
If he's not, someone get in the horn with him right now. Make sure that's scheduled because PCA is an electric factor. PCA also, he did one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Not coolest. One of the funniest things I've ever seen a baseball player do last week, where hit for the cycle. He was on base as either in like a close game where the run certainly mattered, got picked off before the next pitch was thrown. I was like, that's one of the greatest baseball highlights I've ever seen.
Hey, we got anything else to talk about?
Yeah, I don't even think I brought my phone in the room. Oh, it's back behind me charging. We do have a Frankie, but I mean, there's nothing else about the Cubs. You got anything else interesting?
Do I have anything else interesting about the Cubs?
Yeah.
I mean, we always joke that they're the most boring team in baseball. So I really actually don't think I have anything more interesting about the Chicago Cubs, except that this week could be an audition for Freddy Peralta, maybe, and it could also be an audition for Pedro Ramirez.
Yeah, it could be, or Matt Shaw, whoever that winds up being. Alex Bregman's been rough on
Matt Shaw
on his big contract. Matt Shaw's actually played a decent outfield this year, and they've seen enough from him to Mo Bal, who again, talk about a weird season. Looks like the best hitter in baseball for 6 weeks.
Looks really bad.
They got him back in AAA, but so Matt Shaw is right field for them. Seiya Suzuki also. Remember he had that knee injury in WBC?
I do, yeah.
And then he had another knee tweak, and he was terrible for like 4 weeks. Now he's hot again, so maybe something was him. Also, Edward Cabrera from that trade have a bad season, but I'm sure he'll be okay. He's had blister issue for him. But yeah, filibuster for like a second. I'm gonna grab the phone, play Frankie, and send them all out.
When you're going to grab your phone, try and think of what Gavin Holloway's middle name could be.
Ethan.
Wow, really close.
Really? What is it?
Ernest.
Holy shit! I got
pretty
2 letters
close,
right.
Pretty close.
Here comes Frankie once I get my phone.
Yeah, I'll filibuster. So, how's everybody doing? This is one of the shorter episodes we've done in a long time, but can you blame us? Listen, we love doing this podcast, but it is tough right now. These are the dog days of summer. All right, Frankie Pepper's here.
What would you say? We're just going to a soliloquy?
I said we love doing this podcast, but this is tough watching this Mets team. It's agonizing.
Again, we owe you guys a prospect report. That's coming soon. I want to do a mailbag soon. Then we'll do that one. And you guys keep tell us about more episodes you guys want to see.
Yeah, something.
We're going to hammer trade deadline, of course.
Yes.
Because now July's here. This team is 90% chance going to be sellers. We're going to talk
Anytime
a lot about...
we hear a rumor, it's going to be a video.
Rumors are going to be videos. I'd like to go through players under team control. I think the Mets should trade for with an eye on 2027. Things like that.
All right, let's get Frankie Peppers on here. I need some Francis in my life.
Here comes Francis. Francis, listen to us. 14-second voicemail.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about, Frankie.
Here comes Frankie.
Gentlemen, this is Frankie Peppers.
How you doing?
This is the first episode of the hot take sauce with Frankie Peppers. My hot take is that we stink. Thank you, gentlemen. Happy Father's Day.
Frankie's 1 for 1.
Happy Father's Day,
I
Frankie.
agree with
Good
that.
take.
Agree with that take.
Not hot enough, Frankie. Let's get a hotter take next time.
I'm done.
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Mets'd Up on YouTube. If you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google. Drops a rating, drops a review, download, and subscribe. You can follow James on social media at
James Shiano.
I'm Drafting Park. Hey, you like us talking about baseball but not the Mets? Go check out the Wind Up as well. You guys can watch our baseball stuff there. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.
Peace out, guys. Let's go Mets.